How do you think today's audience would receive this film?
If it came out as a new movie today, I don't know. I actually think it would land pretty well because
So don't you think you'll have a similar opinion that the audience back in the day felt in terms of that regarding like the characters, for example?
Maybe it's become very hard to impress people with visual effects, right? Because we are used to CGI being photorealistic and perfect and limitless. But what's been a shortage of is cool things to put on screen, right? And like whenever somebody actually does something creative with the tools, they like it kind of stands out. And I think if this one came out and really made full use of all special effects technologies, CGI and practical and whatever else, but uses those tools to its full potential and put a lot of creativity into every incarnation of the thing, I think that would stand out because like there's no teasing the audience with this, right? There's no, okay, there are 2 cool shots and then 2 hours of build up to that or something like that, right? The thing shows up first relatively quickly and there's no idle time. And like the first 20 minutes to 30 minutes are establishing what happened, what the thing is, where it came from, and then very quickly we actually see it do things, right? I think the first time it comes out is in the kennel, right, where the infected dog is put among the others and starts infecting them, and it turns into this giant pile of fur and blood. And from there, it just doesn't stop. And I think the amount of creativity that is in this is applied to modern CGI technology could be something special where it's just this wild ride that doesn't stop. Just this approach of doing one creative scene after the next, and you never know what's going to come next. But if when it comes, it feels like it belongs and it doesn't feel arbitrary. And in hindsight, it kind of feels like a cohesive whole. Like I think that would resonate with audiences. And on that basis, I think it would land pretty well. I think also that's why it's held up so well with modern audiences. Like it's not like this secret, like insider tip that nobody's heard of, but a couple of people are really into it. Like this has only gotten more popular over time, and I think it is because of the creativity, right? It's not just about, hey, how cool does this one shot look? But like the entire movie is just steeped in creativity and putting cool images on screen. And I think that is something that modern blockbusters kind of like. If you go back through a lot of our reviews this year, a lot of the time I say, okay, they had this one cool scene or this one cool shot, but that's 5 minutes of the movie. And why wasn't the entire movie like that? Right? And I think a lot of modern movies really have this problem where they have one cool idea, but it's not enough to fill the movie, or they don't fill the movie with stuff like this. And you don't get a lot of it. And you get a lot of waiting around until it gets good and then it's over. That kind of thing. And the thing doesn't do that. The thing very much just gives you, I think it's an hour 40 something. And there's always something interesting happening. It's always moving forward. It's always introducing something new, or it's paying something off, or whatever it is. And that even today is above average. That still makes it a top tier movie, just by doing that.
Yeah, because I feel like with today's movies, it's like it's one or the other. It's either the CGI and the effects. Because with this movie, I think it's got great effects as well as a good story as well. Whereas in this generation, it's like it's one or the other. It's either a good story lacking the whole creativity when it comes to the effects and the CGI and that, or it's a CGI fest minus a great story. So I do agree. I do believe that this would actually do well with today's audiences. The only thing is, I do also agree there would be like another audience that might agree with the other, obviously with the audience back in the day in terms of the whole lack of engagement with the character. Because a lot of the times people I remember I was speaking to a few people, they say don't really like thinking too deeply when it comes to movies. They just want to enjoy themselves. Whereas this one, you kind of have to, do a bit more thinking than the average film of this generation. So yeah, it could go both ways, but it is interesting that it has actually grown in popularity